Hey folks, it's Saturday and we're back with more Dungeons & Dragons. Hooray!
Hooray!
Hey.
More dwarves!
Indeed. When we last left off, our heroes had cleared out the undercrypt that was buried underneath the now ruined Quietus Order Monastery. Had defeated a whole bunch of undead.
Mm-hmm.
And seemingly have
Picked up
accidentally...
a wizard.
Yeah, picked up a wizard, indeed, and have seemingly freed some sort of dark spirit of some sort. That's very likely associated with Lord Demise of the Unnamed.
But it's not like that's going to be coming up again later on in the story at any point.
No, you don't.
No, not in any way, shape, or form.
It's
Clearly.
completely unimportant.
Right.
I don't know why I bothered mentioning it.
I just wanted to point out the obvious is all.
Right, exactly.
It's just like a random Bakasura crossing the lane.
Anyways, so, and Brother Alvis mentioned that he had places he had to go, and that that sort of thing really wasn't his forte, and if you guys were interested in looking into it, an associate of his, Brother Gex, is probably traveling to Ironheim right about now, and you probably will be able to run into him outside of it, or at least on the road to it.
Oh geez, that's the name you went with? Oh dear, my brain just went in directions.
You will understand why it's Gex at some point.
Oh dear, now I just can't stop thinking of Enter the
Is he a
Gecko.
goblin? Does he work for darkness?
Well, he's
No,
a
that's
walker,
not the
so
Gex I'm thinking of.
he's a walker, so it's very unlikely he works for darkness.
Okay.
Does he watch a lot of TV?
Also very unlikely given the world.
Oh dear.
And at the end of last session, you were paid, and Brother Alvis gave you a little sort of signet that, to identify that you've helped out the walkers, and that you can request assistance if need be, and proceeded to part ways with you. And that is where we are. You were sort of in or out just outside the ruined temple, and I believe you decided that you were planning on heading over towards Ironheim.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be, since you're on foot, probably about a week's worth of traveling. On the plus side, you are heading towards a major city, so they're very likely going to be roads. Hooray.
Yes.
Hooray, roads!
I'm gonna be reading those books throughout the trip.
Seems very unlikely. I don't know why you would do that.
Mm.
It's not like you're at all. It's not like that's entirely your sort of raison d'etre. Anyways,
Start reading more. Books ain't got nothing useful in them. I have an intelligence of 8.
So do I. You don't hear me saying that.
I have more intelligence than both of you combined.
yes.
Technically, the way that the bonuses work out, you have twice as much times -1
I have
intelligence.
4 times your penalty in reverse.
Anywho, so you all set out on the road. Hooray!
Right.
And the first few days are remarkably uneventful. The weather is pleasant. The skies clear up. It's, nice sunny days, but not too hot. Pleasantly cool evenings. Just a wonderful time of the year to be traveling.
Well, for the rest of them, from the lady from the frozen north, she's just kind of like tugging at her collar. Ugh.
Hey, you've traveled in worse, I'll put it that way, Word.
Sure, but still. This is 70 degrees. What is this? How do you people even survive?
Oh, it's not even 70s, it's probably 60s, I would suspect.
Yeah, it's probably sort of mid to high 60s, but yeah, still,
Still sweating.
It's a hot summer day for you, yes.
High 60s? What are you doing? Trying to kill me? No, wait, that's me, not my character.
I find
Yeah, she's just going to occasionally throw a chilling cloud kind of in her vicinity just to regulate herself.
I find it to be quite brisk.
It's fine. I've been in hotter, I've been in colder. It happens.
Indeed.
I'm sure you have too, though. He says. Vinay says over to Anna. I mean, what's the worst?
I didn't
What's the
catch
hottest
this
place you've
there.
had to go to for your line of work?
Oh, it would have been yours. Or, well, you know what I mean.
Yes, of course.
But yes, and so after about 2 days, after 3 days travel, you pass like a small village here and there, but you are now sort of moving into an area of, you're getting close to a city actually. Well, not a city, but a small city, I guess, or large town. You know that
A township?
Yes. Well, those of you who have traveled through this area before know that you're coming up on the town of Greystone, which is a largish town, maybe even a small city. It's sort of hard to decide.
Right.
Wavels between those two, sort of, with a lot of surrounding farmland. They're a sort of a large agricultural producer in the area, and sort of a smaller trade hub to a certain degree. The thing that you all note on the day, as you're traveling through, now you're traveling past through the farms, is that there's something definitely off. It's the farmers seem less. How do I put it? Well, actually, better way to put it: the farmers seem nervous, just in general, and very suspicious of strangers, more so
Now,
than you're used to seeing.
Would I happen to have any extended family in this particular township, or?
That's unlikely. It's mostly an agricultural hub.
Right.
I mean, caravans travel through, so you've probably been in the town before.
Sure, that's why I suspected.
But
Please.
it's So you've seen farmers like these before, and they're rarely this
Nervous, or
and closed off.
right.
They see travelers coming, and they sort of back off, which seems a little odd.
Right.
And the off to the sort of. So the road basically passes sort of on one side of the road are the farmlands, sort of off to the west, the western side, and off to the eastern and northern side of the road is the road's sort of wending northwest. And off on the other side of the road is sort of more foresty terrain, and it's very clear that as you guys walk in, actually, not very clear. If you want, you can give me insight checks, and I can give you sort of more info about what you're getting from the way the farmers are acting.
Right.
This is the great thing about me being a wizard. I don't care, especially since I'm bad at that stat.
They seem perfectly friendly to me.
I got it.
Probably don't even notice because I'm reading.
Fair enough. You don't have to roll if you don't want to, if you don't think it's appropriate. Well, Ahana, it's very clear that the farmers are, while they're suspicious and nervous about travelers, they are very clearly very suspicious and nervous about something to do with the forest. Anyways, after you pass the last farm that you pass the farm, and there's a sort of big sort of farmstead, and there's this part of the road basically goes sort of downhill into a little bit of a valley. And as you sort of start coming up the hill from the valley, you notice what looks like something happened up on top of this hill that you're coming up. And as you get closer, you see sort of the ruin, what looks like sort of the ruins of what was probably a very small caravan. Lots of boxes and stuff broken and smashed, and signs of struggle.
That's no good.
Indeed.
Is it possible to investigate the boxes to see if there's any indication of who they're from or who they were intended for?
You could do so if you'd like.
I probably will do so, since it seems to be that this was some sort of merchant or transport or something. So,
You can give me a perception check if you would like.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
I'd like to do something similar to figure out if they were hit by like bandits or something else.
Absolutely. You can give me anyone who wants to do some sort of investigation. Tell me what you're doing. Give me a perception check.
I'm going to see if
Clearly
there's
they are
any-
attacked by giant wolves being ridden by badgers.
I'll see if there's any magical lingerings.
Maybe some minor magical effects, but
Perhaps a hedge.
All right. Well, if you guys want, you can spend significant time looking at it and basically effectively take 20. I mean, so.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there are boxes on this, they would likely have some indication of either who they belonged to or who they were intended for.
The boxes are sort of broken up and such. You guys spend some time at this point. It'll take you about 10 minutes or so since you didn't roll high enough to get a lot of detail out of this.
Right.
But as you sort of investigate Sketch, you notice that, so that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that the boxes are probably filled with, honestly, it looks like stuff it looks like it was intended for the general store at the, in Greystone.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of a mixture of various types of supply, and most of it's been looted. Eric,
Yes.
after spending about 10 minutes there investigating, seeing you're trying to figure out what might have hit it, you notice a few things. It's very clear that the pack animals and whomever was traveling with the caravan have been hauled off. You see a lot. You see, sort of looking at the tracks, you can see that there were looked like various pack animals, probably mostly mules. Not that many. This is not a big caravan,
Right.
You see footprints from sort of human-sized footprints wearing shoes and such, and some smaller footprints that are probably belong to a goblin at a guess. You also sort of notice indications that someone was walking with a walking staff. You also notice that there were a lot of sort of bigger, heavier footprints that had come in from off to the east and northeast, somewhere in that area, out from the woods. You can't tell much about the footprints other than they were all they're all basically human size, and they were shod feet, but don't look like they were like heavy boots or anything like that. More than that would actually require another perception roll and have to be roll well.
Boop. No.
Anyone else who wants to poke around may do so and give me a perception check, but that's up to you guys at this point.
Yeah, that's just based on just sort of.
Yeah, I've figured out that there's a minor magic user. That's about all I care about.
Hana, as you're sort of investigating around, you sort of notice that as you're sort of looking at the footprints leaving the scene, it's very clear that whoever came in basically abducted some people and led the animals away. But you notice that in one of the bushes on the side of the road on the eastern side, near where someone basically looks like was one of the people was running, one of the people who attackers was running, it's very clear that someone discarded what looks like a small sort of silvery amulet, and sort of like it looks like it might have been tossed off into the bushes somewhere.
Huh.
As you get close and investigate it, it's got the symbol of the traveler on it, and an insignia on the back.
Okay, then. I will show this off to the others.
Is there a way to examine the insignia on the back to determine whose it might be?
At a glance, it's pretty clear that the amulet in style is very similar to the one that Alvis gave you.
Mm-hmm.
But the insignia is obviously different. I mean, Alvis's sigil, like Alvis explained that was his sigil, basically. It's stylistically similar to Alvis's, but it's very clearly someone else's.
This will probably make Vinnaeus just sort of something and say, I mean, it's a bit of a shot, but do you think an amulet like this would have belonged to Brother Gex?
This is probably something I would just kind of know since walkers are everywhere. Are there amulets enchanted?
There's definitely some sort of magic involved with them. You don't know what it is. The walkers aren't talking.
Well, it's just like, is there like kind of like a familiar signature or trace with it, so like you can tell it's legitimate?
Oh, yes, it's very definitively something like it's very similar to the one Alvis gave you guys.
Okay.
Right.
It's got Ude le Walker.
Basically.
Because
I'd say it was bandits, but they grabbed all the merchants and the animals too. Like, why would they do that? I mean, the animals are people, but
Slavers.
Slavers, people looking for things for their own gain. It could have been that this traveler was just going with them because they were on the way to where he might be going, or he or she might be going, and it could be potentially Brother Gex, though it's hard to tell since the insignias don't. Only one who is a traveler would probably know who the insignia actually belongs to.
well, they went off this way, so I suppose we could go looking.
Suppose we could.
We could talk to the villagers. Bet they know something. Yeah.
It's potentially true, too, if we were able to approach them from the standpoint of understanding what the situation might be and offering to assist them or some sort of compensation information-wise or otherwise. The question is, of course, if we delay searching, would that create any problems for those that have been abducted, animal or human, or other species?
Wait, what?
Well, there was almost definitively a goblin with them, who's technically not human.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Small feet, remember?
Right.
Or I guess it could be a child.
It could be, or otherwise. Whoever was abducted against their will is the key thing here. So, I'm not opposed to either investigating back in town or just making a beeline to possibly doing some rescuing, or at least beating up some ne'er-do-wells.
If nothing else, they might have something of use.
Of course. It's, you'd be surprised by what even the most unseemingly bandit might be carrying from an exploit.
It'd probably be the right thing to go and save these folks, but might get paid also.
Sure.
Either way, we're gonna go do it. Might as well get paid.
Right. There's always the possibility of asking for payment after we already secured the things that they would be willing to pay for, but that's why I think making
You never do a job you're looking to get paid for before you talk about price. Says the guy with Streetwise.
we both have Streetwise.
Oh, right.
Again, in either case, it'd be probably more advantageous to at least do a little bit of an investigation into this, because, well, this road is supposed to be safer than most. Anyway.
You know what would be useful? Have a builder up. I didn't sleep well.
Uh-huh. So, are you guys heading to town then? Or are you going to follow the tracks?
I'm fine with following the tracks myself.
Yed says we should go and talk about price, but Biget says we should go and kill bad guys and save these people. So let's go do that. I start walking off, following the trail.
Arama isn't going to say it, but if we just go smash them, then anything we take is ours to keep, as opposed to, oh, so they took this, we'd like it back. Oh, well.
So Gyorm goes walking off after the tracks. What do the rest of you do?
I follow. Yeah.
All right. Well, you set off through the bush and into the woods. again.
Yep.
We're good at this.
All right. Well, you are traveling through the woods then.
I probably have my nose in a book right now, but I just follow kind of blindly through the other dwarf.
Well, eventually you realize that reading a book while walking through the woods is probably a bad idea. Unless your
Yes.
wisdom is really bad. I don't remember.
Yes.
There's a lot of me like grabbing her, lifting her over roots and such.
Right, wisdom is your low stat. Right.
I like to imagine that at more than one point she just kind of walks straight into a rock and just like keeps walking into it without noticing that the rock is there and not moving anywhere.
Pathfinding's broken. Darn it.
Yes. Fucking Infinity Engine.
Doors, how do they work? Sorry. Sorry, my experiences with Skyrim have taught me about that sort of thing.
Yeah. Right.
Oh man, I know.
I will say that
I'm
Vendaya.
trying to think of one thing because I know I've played one thing where dwarves could just walk through rock.
Anyway, Vendeus is probably walking, I would say, with a slightly upbeat step, as if, even though he is raised a dwarf, there is always something about being in the woods that makes him, I don't know, feel a little bit at ease, to say.
It's in your blood.
Probably.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, well, you guys travel along through the woods. And Windows decided to throw a pop-up at me for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you want to change the basic colors? No, go away.
I see you're trying to run a role-playing game. Do you need some help with that?
Thank God it's not Clippy. Go away, Clippy. Nobody likes you.
Oh, jeez. Did you see that one April Fool's prank that someone posted about on Twitter, where they made like all of these handmade clippy things, like with actual paper and paper clips, and posted them all around their fucking office?
Yes, I did see that.
Looks like you're trying to go to the bathroom.
Would you like help with that? Go away.
I
Anyways,
saw
But yes, but so
we should keep going. So, as you travel through the woods, the woods here are... there's something about them that's a little bit more primal, I guess, almost,
right.
than the woods you were in before.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who would like to can give me a nature check to get some more information about that.
Let's see what the. I just know these wolves, these woods look kind of neat.
Hey, wow!
Did you say we're going to another map?
Not yet.
Okay.
All right, Gjorm. It's very clear to you as you're walking through. You actually, having done a lot of traveling over your life, it's pretty clear that these woods have. You notice very evident signs of game trails and places where people, hunters have set up sort of hunting spots and such, and as you travel along. And you seem to remember people talking about a tribe, sort of a tribe that lives out here, but you don't, it's something to do with maybe wolves or something like that. You don't remember the name of the tribe. But you know that there's actually a fairly large tribe who actually live out in these woods somewhere. Of, sort of, the townsfolk would probably call them barbarians or savages.
Right.
But, folk who prefer sort of living in the woods and
There's a group of savage barbarian that live around here, I think.
Perhaps they're friendly.
That's usually the kind of descriptor you apply to friendly people.
Well,
You'd call friendly savage barbarians like Hicks or Hillfolk or I don't know, whatever humans call one another.
Venice was just sort of sprung. It's like, if they will pose a problem, it will be something that we will run into as opposed to talking to, I suppose.
Yeah. The only thing that you do remember about these guys, Eric, is they are fairly defensive of their territories if people, show up unannounced. So,
Yeah.
but they don't have a particularly bad reputation overall, from what you remember.
Well, they're not bandits. They're savages, apparently.
But you don't know much about these guys. You just know that there's a tribe who lives out here somewhere, and a fairly big one, if you remember correctly.
Like wolves, and they're like territorial and the like.
Right.
Anyways, so you travel along again for a while, following the tracks. It's pretty clear that whoever's doing this, weren't over focused on trying to cover their tracks. That might be the fact that they're moving fairly quickly and we're bringing pack animals with them. However,
Pack animals are difficult to make stealthy.
yeah, especially mules who are not only not particularly interested in being stealthier, but also generally kind of recalcitrant.
Dude, I don't want to go over there. I want to go over here.
Yeah, they can be convinced, but they're not as bad as, say, camels, for instance. Nothing's that bad.
No.
But I do need perception checks from all of you at this point.
Percepti-bits. Hey, that was not as terrible as usual.
This leaf is almost as good as that other leaf. Do you notice that?
All right. Well, fortunately, Hana rolled well.
I will have my roll when I realize that when I get the right token.
Oh, Catherine actually rolled pretty well too.
Yeah, apparently my title screen token doesn't have all the macros.
Yeah, mine didn't have the handout. I had to apply it again.
At any rate, so, Kathra and Hana, you both notice that you're coming up to something of a clearing, and you hear noises you hear basically what sound like,
I've
people
put
moving
down
through
the
the
book
bushes.
now, for the
People
record.
moving through the bushes and such, and like possibly setting up something of an ambush. So you will not be surprised. You will not be getting a full ambush on the next map, on the actual map. You should move to Forest Encounter.
Yeah.
And there's an obvious spot there's a box that you should be in where you start. And you see a bunch of as you are moving in, obviously aware, a bunch of humans wearing very hide armor and such, and wielding weapons have come out, and they don't look particularly interested in negotiations, let's just say that.
Oh.
Their weapons are at the ready, and this one up here sort of snarls, "You have trespassed on Black Wolf land. You will, and we cannot let you travel any further. Turn around now, or taste our weapons."
I'm going to shut up. We mean you no harm, and will leave if you can assist us with providing information.
I'm going to use a suggestion
Uh,
to kind of back this up. We're investigating some missing peoples. The tracks led in this direction, and we would like to know what you know.
Well, then you can make the roll if you'd like.
Yes. Arcana check for diplomacy. Fuck.
Vindeus will kind of chime in from another angle and and simply ask, "We have reasons to suspect there might be other trespassers that have also been acting as thieves in your area."
Oh, here's my diplomacy check. Ha ha!
Damn!
That's what hot I get for both being diplomatic. So.
Well, the guy who's acting as leader says, so he basically says, I understand what you want, but unfortunately we must insist you turn around and leave now. That's what he says when you say that. Who was someone who sort of said mentioned thieves?
I specifically mentioned thieves.
Yes, okay. He looks at you and says, there are no thieves in this area. You will turn around now or face the consequences.
I believe you're misunderstanding. I've never insinuated that any one of you or your tribe have committed any crimes. I'm insinuating that outsiders who are not of your kind are also intruding on your space and have committed crimes against some of our people. These people are likely mutual enemies to us, and we'd be best served if we found a way to dispatch them cleanly as opposed to bickering or fighting amongst ourselves.
This is your final warning. Turn around, or we will be forced, or you will feel the consequences.
I feel that he.
I give him a big grin.
I feel that
intimidate.
Go ahead, Nick.
I feel that he may be insinuating that they are thieves.
Vindaeus will just shrug and say,
since I don't hear Eric speaking, I just imagine Gorm is flexing.
He's pretty savvy.
Gorm is giving a big excited grin.
He's looking like a crazy
look
bastard.
like they were all knocked out and put back together wrong.
Vindaeus will merely shrug and say, I'm sorry, but your actions are not convincing us that leaving is in our interests.
At which point he basically shouts something to them in what sounds sort of like it's a sort of a weird combination of Westron and Pack speak, actually. It's a sort of a weird dialect, basically.
Right.
And it's something to the fact that, all right, these idiots won't listen to. These idiots won't pay heed to our warning. Get them, and you should roll initiative.
Oh, we paid plenty of heed to their warning. They just didn't pay any heed to ours.
My initiative sucked.
Jeez, of course.
Well, they're going to be moving up, now I can shoot them.
All right,
My initiative really sucked. Holy crap.
I don't think you did worse than me. No, you did not.
So I rolled well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you did. Initiative 3. I'm a wizard. I don't give a shit about any of you idiots. You don't have magic.
Actually, I do, but
Not you, them.
I'm not sure who you mean by idiots, because I was under the suspicion that you would be
The
referring to.
opponents. I don't care about them. So I'm not particularly initiative.
I understand now. I'm just saying.
All right, and you're all set. And wow, you guys did not roll well.
No.
Rolls suck.
All right, well, hang on. Adjust the map a little bit here. Should zoom out a little bit. There we go. That's better. All right, well, the tribal warriors go first because they rolled really well. So terrain notes. Most of the terrain is actually pretty safe. The rocks here, those are obviously difficult terrain. The trees, as usual, provide cover if you're in the tree squares. In the middle is blocking terrain, where obviously these are bushes. They provide cover. These rocks are blocking terrain. As is that difficult. It's an obstacle. The big flat rocks are just normal terrain. These are just big flat rocks. And the tribal warriors go first. All right, so he'll move up to there. He'll move to there. He'll move to there. I'm sort of getting their moves out of the way first.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that's a free action? Holy shit.
What is?
One of my cantrips.
Oh, okay. All right, they move up to there. They come advancing up and sort of are, and they'll have various throwing weapons. You know, hand axes, javelins, what have you, of various sorts. They're basically, these guys are all armed with. They each have a large sort of two-handed weapon that they're carrying. They're sort of walking along with one hand, and they basically pull out their hand weapon to throw as they advance.
Right.
So a bunch of throwing weapon attacks at you guys.
Pew pew pew.
Some of them have longer range than others because they're wielding javelins. They're all ineffective range, basically. All right.
Incidentally, javelins are really freaking good as far as throwing weapons go.
Oh, they're excellent. So everyone's getting one attack. Yorm, you're getting 2.
Awesome. That means I'm doing my job.
You're the biggest and toughest looking one in the group. So
Even though he's the shortest.
well, he's the one in.
Oh, we're counting total volume here.
All right. So we'll start with Hana.
Ow.
Aramia.
Whatever.
Kathra. No. Vindeus.
Yeah. When Cathra's missed, I'm going to use my virtue of cunning, and she can slide 1 square.
Okay.
So I'll take my 6 damage though.
Yep. Kathra can slide a square.
Oui.
And the 2 shots on Yorm. A crit! But it's a minion, so who cares? Take 6.
Hey.
I do like that there are some minions that get boosted damage on crits.
There are, but these are not them.
Yeah.
The second one misses you. So, Kathra. Alice?
Yeah?
You got slid a square of your choice.
Oh.
For virtue of cunning. Yeah, you got to pay attention because I might pull that on people outside of their turns.
All right, and that was the Tribal Warriors. Kathra, you're up.
Alright, let's see here. I'm gonna move here. I'll curse Tribal Warrior 5.
Okay.
And I will use Eyes of the Vestige in Zutwa. Yeah, that's which one I'm in. On Tribal Warrior 4.
Okay.
Versus, I'll remember this one day, Will.
You managed to miss his will. All right. Anything else?
I am sad. No.
Quick question. Are the...
Use spacebar again.
Yeah, you can't.
Why is it only doing that to me?
I don't know.
Anyway, are these trees or bushes?
These are trees.
Okay, so then they have a trunk in the middle. Okay.
Yes, they do. The warrior types go next. Battle-tested warrior 2 is going to charge Kathra because he can. Charge there, though. Where are you? There we go. Battle. He swings his axe at you.
I'm going to use shocking feedback against him.
Okay.
Yeah. Misses, unfortunately.
All right. Kathra, you take 13 damage.
I'm kind of surprised that's against AC and not fort.
It's
It's a
shocking
weapon
feedback
attack.
is always against AC.
Yeah, no,
It's a weapon
that's what I'm saying.
attack.
Weapon attack, yeah.
Was that a charge?
Yes, it was.
Ow.
So 13, as I said.
Yeah. What? Oh. Sounds like you're typing, so we muted your mic. Don't do that.
And then he is going to move and charge Hana. Zoom. Battle axe. Wah!
Wow. Okay.
Okay, take 18.
I'm bloodied.
Yep.
I use shield guard.
Wrong game, Eric. And that is the battle-tested warriors. Hana.
Hey, I'm going to use my 5 storms to step around this guy. Shift.
Yep.
And then I will attack him with the power.
All right.
That's
that
21
definitely
against
hits.
reflex, so yeah.
Definitively hits.
Whoop-ha.
And I do 12 damage to him. And then I use my flurry of blows against him, so he takes another 5 fire damage.
So 17 total?
Yep. And then I shift away 1.
All right.
Actually, no, I'll just stay there so that Gorm gets the flanking.
Ooh, flanking.
Because I'll be
Alright.
safe against him anyway.
All right. This is when...
And my flurry of blows thing now sets off my shielding whirlwind style, so I get partial cover against ranged attacks.
Okay.
Also, I can't be flanked.
All good. All right, well, 2 guys who were hiding in the bushes are now visible.
Hi!
All right, Tribal Tracker 1 is going to use his clustered volley attack. Wrong template. There we go. That AoE.
Oh, thank God it's not me.
He's going for the most number of targets.
I would have partial cover against that too, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's some pretty good range he's got going on there.
It's a bow.
Okay, so he's like got effective 20?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so anyone who ends up being hit, I'll get rid of the template now. So we'll be taking...
What's the defense?
I haven't rolled to hit yet. I'm getting so you know what the effect
I
is
see.
out of the way first.
Okay.
So anyone who's hit takes 14 damage. Gorm?
Ow.
God damn it.
These guys do way too much damage.
They hit hard. Vindeus?
14, you said?
Yep,
Bloodied.
Is that for me?
that's for you.
Okay, I'm bloodied as well.
And Aramia.
That hits everything.
That's wow.
I forgot to mention it's AC. I forgot to type that in the macro. That's my bad.
AC, that's what I need to know. Shield.
Okay. All right, so
So
Gorm
it's a
and
heavy.
Vindeus are bloodied. Gorm, you're up.
Alright. Might as well use that Dwarven Resilience now to unbloody myself.
Yep.
And, these guys hit like trucks, so we need to end this fast. So, yeah, I guess I'll use driving attack on him. I mean, he's right there.
Okay.
Oh, come on!
Yep.
Ah!
Does it do anything on a miss?
It's an at-will, isn't it?
No,
Oh,
driving
it's
is
daily.
Is it reliable or is it a
It's not
Half
hard.
damage, I push the target 1 square.
All right, so roll the damage.
Poop. Poop, I say.
I'm sorry.
12. And we'll push him. There.
Takes 8 damage. And you push him.
Well, at least he's marked.
Yeah. Oh, and invigorating, so I get another 3 hit points.
And he is bloodied. And marked. Vindeus.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna throw resistive formula on Hana. So
+1 AC, and you can spend get rid of it as a free action to give yourself
Right.
surge value +3 temp hit points.
2 hit points.
2, sorry.
Yeah. What I'll try to do. See if I can.
Oh, I forgot to do the other archer, but whatever. See, he'll take a shot at Cathra. Sorry, that's my bad. I completely forgot about the other archer. Longbow. Longbow. There we go. I think that misses Cathra.
Nope. It's her.
No, she's got shadow. She's got her shadow locked up, so she gets
Oh,
concealment.
good.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to attack Battle Tested Warrior 2 with Blunder.
Okay.
I miss. So
We can't roll with this group at all.
So
He's
both
not
my
in
encounter
fights.
powers are wasted. What I'm going to do for Cathra, just to... Alice, are you there?
Yes.
I'm planning on using Moment of Escape on you so I can pull you back. So you're not as isolated out there. Alright?
Don't do that. He'll be able to charge.
Okay.
I'm fairly good. Yeah.
I'm just not sure what else I can do.
We're fucked. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm done. Peter?
It's okay, Skitch.
I said Peter.
Yes.
Peter? I said I'm done.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Aramia.
Okay. So I'm getting out from away from everyone else because burst attacks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to walk over here besides this this tree trunk here.
Okay.
I'm going to assume the trunk is immediately to my right.
That's about right, yes.
And as a free action, I'm going to use Chameleon's Mask, which allows me to make a stealth check as a free action using my arcane score.
Okay.
Ooh.
Right!
Okay. All right, so
Someone can roll.
all the jerks in a cone to my right can't see me. I am hidden to them.
Okay.
I'm effectively invisible.
Poof.
Unfortunately, you happen to arrange all of these guys so I can't burst and hit more than one target,
Not the
which
moves,
is very
yeah.
annoying. Yeah, very annoying, and I can't do a whole lot about that. Well, actually, no. There's that dude up there. Can I get that far? Yes. All right, I'm gonna drop a freezing cloud right here.
Right, it's party friendly, so go for it.
Yep. Alright, so that is 20. Oops, not D30. Alright, left to right. I always miss, like, the important target.
All right,
At least I
Tribal
killed the
Warrior.
minion.
Tribal Warrior 5 is dead. Your pack
And-
triggers, Ellis.
It says
crap.
Wall Pact Boon. Let's see. That one actually does something.
Okay. And, the dude who did not die has -2 to hit until the end of my next turn.
All right, so noted. Tribal Warriors go. Rar. 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 All right, attacks. Hana.
Miss.
Yeah, there we go. 2 attacks on Gyorm. Don't forget you second winded, so you get +2 all your defenses.
Yep.
Well, that doesn't matter.
Of course I rolled a 19.
8 damage, you say?
Yeah. Another one.
That's a miss, at least.
Yes.
That's a miss.
And then 2 attacks on Cathra. Whiff.
Miss.
Miss.
Hit.
Ah.
Bloodied.
Alright.
Okay, that was freaking irritating. I made a joke, and it kicked me out of fucking Google Talk.
I'm sorry.
Well, the joke was just that bad.
And now, and the HUD is also missing, so I can't disable. Like, it's there, but the icons are gone. Because
It also says, and it also says you're XSplit.
yeah, that's it's because it was like doing my quote unquote camera, which is my streaming software.
Yeah. Cathra, you're up.
What shall Cathra do here?
What will Cathra do? What will Cathra do?
Yeah.
I'm going to curse. Wait, no.
No?
She's not going to curse anyone because that's a minor action.
Yep.
And she just used that to use Charm of Hearts.
Boom.
Considering that other burst attack guy is still up, I wouldn't move there. Yeah, there you are. Either move
No.
closer to Sketch or further from all of them.
Alright.
Yeah, there you are.
Alright. So, I still get my Prime Shot bonus against Battle-Tested Warrior 2.
Okay.
And, I'm going to use Cloud of Flies.
So noted.
Actually, no, Eyes of the Vestige. Versus Will!
That'll almost certainly hit.
It's a 20. He gets cursed.
How much damage is it?
6 plus 3, 9.
Okay.
End of turn.
Alright. It's the Battle-Tested Warriors' turns. Let's see. Double check something here. Make sure I got the number right there. Wrong one. Alright, cool. Alright, he is going to use Hacking Frenzy. If you are hit by this, it's close burst.
Oh, come on!
He's got to roll to hit first. Gyorm. No.
Ha
Oh,
And unfortunately for his buddy,
ha!
it's not a party-friendly burst.
oh, good.
Well, at least the Tribal Warrior is marked. Or dead.
Basically, he basically hacks around him in a frenzy, and he's like, "Oh fuck!"
I'll take it.
Sorry, dude.
It was the right move for him to do either way, but Hana, you're up.
Alright, let's do 5 storms. Start with Battle-Tested Warrior and then Tribal Warrior.
Okay.
Battle-Tested. Hit.
Kill it.
Tribal Warrior. Hit.
Okay. Tribal
Okay.
Warrior is detonated.
Alright, they both take 13 damage. Because I took down Tribal Warrior 1, I use my Rain of Hammers key focus to deal 3 more damage to Battle-Tested Warrior
That'll drop
as
him.
a free action. Alright, awesome. And unfortunately, that means that I can't use my flurry of blows. So I'll shift over here, and I will use a free action. I will use an action point rather to use Wind Through the Willows.
All right.
So let's see here. Each creature in blast. This is a close blast 3, so it'll catch Tribal Warrior 4 and Tribal Warrior 3.
All right.
So 4, miss, 3, hit.
He goes down like a house of cards.
All right. As let's see. As an effect, I can shift up to 3 squares in the blast. So I'll shift here, and I'll use my flurry of blows to kill Tribal Warrior 3.
All right, he goes down also. Wipe.
It's a fryer!
It's a fryer.
Stupid friars and their presses.
I know in-jokes!
Shit up here.
All right, the archers go. The trackers. On the plus side,
Twang, blade turn. It's not a fryer.
I remember that one, Eric. I was there that day. Tracker 1 will shoot at Gjorm.
Because he can't see me.
Yep.
And it hits me.
Yep.
For 13.
Yep.
Sweet zombie Christ. Bloodied again.
And it pushes you back a square because of the power of the arrow. Tracker 2 will shoot at Hana.
Oh, come on, coverage. Yarg!
Sorry.
Fuck you, Peter. Alright, I used the thingy.
Right,
Yeah.
alright, so...
It should be enough temporary hit points to basically wash the whole thing out.
It's one less.
Yeah.
Oh, they're done. Gjorm.
Alright, using a potion is a
Minor
action, right?
Correct.
Alright. I got enough of these things, so... Fuck. Just reading how these work.
Using the potion of healing.
Yeah.
Spend a surge, get 10 hit points.
So, let's do that. Which just barely knocks me out of, Bloodied.
Lork.
Full charge. Battle tested 2.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
that'll hit.
something.
Damahe.
Oof.
And he's pushed a square knockdown. Well, I don't want to knock him, push him a square. I want to keep him where he is.
Okay, so you just knock him down there. Okay. So he takes 14 damage. And is now prone and is marked.
And I spend an action point to hacking you.
Yeah, I figured.
He's prone, so he actually gets hit.
Yep.
The other guy definitely gets hit and is dead. He takes another 16.
Ow. He's bloodied.
Fuck you for hitting my guys.
So many
Oh, and I
things
get
on him.
points.
Might as well remove the mark off that guy, since he is dead. Vindeus.
Yeah, that guy's prone. So I'm going to... Well, since Warrior 2 is prone, I'm going to risk something on him. First, I will move so that I'm not as lumped up against someone. Yeah, you understand. I'm going to try to hit him with Staggering Note.
Okay.
I
That'll
will hit him.
Note.
So 3 damage and smack him, Bjorn, before he moves.
Well, if you insist.
With combat
basic.
advantage, might as well.
No.
You want me to push him up to 3 squares, or yes?
Not keep him there.
All right.
What I will do then is spend an action point, and then use Magic Weapon against Travel Tracker 2.
Okay.
That's a hit.
It's a hit.
11 damage, and Bjorn gets a +1 power bonus to attack rolls, +2 power bonus to damage rolls on next turn. And if the tracker is doing any stealth checks, he has a penalty to it until end of next turn.
Yeah, he's not going to try to hide right now.
Right. And then as a
sorry.
minor action, I'm going to give Hana a Majestic Word, which allows her to spend a healing surge, gain 3 additional hit points, and slide 1 square.
All
Her
right.
hit points are 13.
And then it is Aramio's turn.
Right, then that's bloodied.
Oh, you're no longer bloodied, right?
And unfortunately, that jerk is out of range of everything, even like the most extended burst.
He likes his bushes.
There's not really any cover between me and him as it is, so that's most unfortunate.
Well, you're standing in cover, technically.
Yes, but I can't do anything from here. Meanwhile, he can keep shooting all of my allies. This is no Gouda. So, screw it. I'm in the best shape of everyone here, and I'm the hardest to hit overall, so I will just come out and head over here.
All
Actually,
right.
no, I'm going to do it the other way, just so that the other guy's going to have a hard time shooting me.
Sure.
Alright, and I'm going to drop a Chilling Cloud on this guy so I can...
Right.
Got it.
That'll hit.
Hey. Alright, so he takes 5 damage, has -2 fortitude, and 2 hit. And... do I want to follow... You know what, I'll follow up on that.
All right.
I'm going to follow that up with Conduit of Ice.
All right.
And this is going to be against his reflex.
Sure.
Of course I miss. Never mind.
So noted.
I can't hit with that thing.
All right.
At any rate, that's me.
All right. Tribal Warrior 1 will stand up. He stands up laughing. It's clear he's enjoying himself.
Oh, that makes 2 of us.
Yeah.
Wait, where's a not dead tribal warrior?
Not Tribal Warrior. Oh, Tribal Warrior.
Battle tested.
That should be battle tested. You're right. That is, I'm incorrect. I just misread that. He is still prone.
And it's not even his turn yet.
Yeah. No, and all the Tribal Warriors are dead. You are correct. So screw that. Catherine, you're up.
I was confused.
There's one lurking in the shadows.
They're both warriors. I just forgot which one's which for a second.
Right.
Minor action, maintain Charm of Hearts.
Okay.
Minor action, Second Wind.
All right.
And on Battle Tested Warrior 2, Cloud of Flies.
Didn't she use that last turn?
No, I used Eyes of the Vestige
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
to get him cursed.
Oh, well, you hit.
11 damage, and everyone has CA against him. End of turn.
All right. All right. Now he stands
Now
up,
he goes.
laughing, and swings his axe at Gjorm.
He's not laughing anymore.
Oh, he's still laughing.
Bonk, off my shield.
His only way of communicating with others.
He likes fighting. Hana, you're up. Yeah, he's not happy about that. Stupid monks and their insane speed.
Alright, I will use Light the Fire. So, this is against his reflex.
All right.
19 against reflex.
That will definitely hit.
Alright. So he takes not a lot of damage, but he is slowed, cannot charge, and also... Oh wait, that's not the right attack. Oh. Well, it's the same amount of damage.
Okay.
Okay. It's just that fire damage. The effect is that I gain an aura 1, and if he starts his turn in the aura, then he takes 5 fire damage.
Which he will. He doesn't have much option on that.
Also, I can shift 2 squares.
All right. That attack bloodied him. He takes the 5 fire damage.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, I misread the power. I can't actually use that power.
Okay.
Oh no, wait. I used a basic movement, so I can. But I can't move. So.
Okay. But yes, he takes the fire damage because he starts his turn there. He will put his bow away because he's in melee with you.
Yes.
And
also, I use my flurry of blows.
Right. All right. So that's another 5.
5. So yeah, he hasn't taken a whole lot, but he started taking damage.
So he's not happy. He puts his bow away and will hit you with his axe. Hand axe. And I miscoded that macro. Ignore that roll for a second.
Oh, I will. I plan on it.
Invalid expression is a very viable foe here.
Yes, there we go.
It just hits. Fine. Blade again.
The other one will shoot at Aramia.
Bring it.
Twang.
Okay.
Oh.
Challenge accepted.
Well, damage doesn't change. He rolled max damage anyways.
Yeah, that actually brings me to exactly half. I'm bloodied. That was a good, clean shot.
Thunk.
Ow. This is why I wanted to remain hidden, stupid trees.
Alright, they are done. Gjorm, you're up.
Yeah, I'll just brash strike him. Screw it.
So noted.
Yep, that sucked. That really sucked.
Well, you maintained the mark on him, so...
Yeah.
Anything else?
I can't spend an action point, can I?
No, you cannot, no.
I already did this encounter, so nope.
Oh, you're at 1 anyways, so... You start each
I had
day...
2 left. Oh, right, you always start with 2. Right.
Start with 1.
Or always
Only
start
with one.
Yep. Alright, so Gjorm, that is it for you. Vindeus.
Well, that one travel tracker over there is sort of contained. So I'm trying to finish off this battle-tested warrior with Bjorn. Also, yeah, it doesn't matter the +1. So let's see here. Staggering note against the... that's a crit against
nice.
battle-tested warrior. So I do 4 damage. And Bjorn, make an attack against him with your +1 attack and +2 damage.
No, I refuse. That was the wrong attack anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, you rolled a 1. Sorry.
Yeah, I refuse. I rolled 2 1s this right in a row.
In a row. Yeah. Oh,
I'm
jeez.
taking these virtual dice and I am throwing them out the window.
This is the burden of the enabler.
Yeah. I keep giving you opportunities. Why can't you make use of them? All right, I guess it's a Rami.
Why are you enabling my suckitude skin?
The only thing I can think of doing, but no one's in range really to take advantage. Well, the only thing I'm going to do in this case is just to provide some...
Can I make the request that you move up so that you'll be able to help me with this guy next turn, because I'm getting my ass kicked over here?
I was going to do that, so...
Thank you.
But move up, I can't move that close to him. I can attack him from where standing where I am, I can attack him just as easily as I can moving in closer.
Okay, fine.
Remember,
Because my
great
range
bow.
is 25.
Great bow. Range stupid.
Okay.
I'm just moving moving like here, both for flare and to spread out any possible burst attacks. So, and that's it.
All right, Aramia, you're up.
All right. So, I'm going to use my... 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 All right. So, I'm going to is this guy actually in a tree, or is he next to it?
He is standing in bushes.
Okay, so he's in a bush. Okay.
He's got cover, basically.
Bush, bush, bush. Yeah, I'm gonna move right there.
Okay.
And I'm
I'll
going to
admit
call
he is
forth the 9 winds.
Yeah, I admit he is confused that the wizard is advancing on him, but... Wait, what? Since when do wizards do this?
I'm just going to remind that he's got -2 to his fortitude.
Okay.
Fuck.
Not that it matters.
Action point, reroll that. Much better. Fuck
As a general
you.
rule of thumb, that is a house rule I use, so...
Yeah.
Actually, did you use
Is
your
that-
action point already?
No, I did not.
Okay, it was someone else who did. Okay, that's fine.
That was me.
Oh, it was you, right, yes. Yeah, a couple guys had, I just couldn't remember who.
Okay, so that's 2d6 plus int. Could be better. Alright, and that creates a zone that lasts until the end of my next turn, and this is basically the big snow fog.
Yep. How big is the zone?
Oh, right, this is one. Right, it's not a close burst, it's a blast. That's right. I'm actually going to step back a little bit then.
Okay. And it's how big?
I'll draw it.
Okay.
Oops. That is not the right spot.
It's also invisible.
There we go. The bigger one,
Yeah, that's fine.
It wouldn't control Z.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Alright, so yeah, now he can't see shit. Fuck you.
Which is really annoying for an archer.
Yes!
Alright, well, that makes it Cathra's turn, I take it.
Hang on, let's see. I want to be annoying. Oh wait, no, that's a standard action. Never mind.
Being annoying is a standard action.
I was gonna use prestidigitation. I was gonna set his bush on fire.
Cathra, you're up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking at Battle-Tested Warrior 2 and Eyes of the Vestige.
Okay. That will not hit.
No, it won't. Maintain Tome of Hearts.
Alright. Well, he goes now. He's going to swing his axe at Gyorm again.
Bring it.
Laughing
I'm
all
sexy.
the while.
Are we fighting Santa Claus or something here? He's laughing all the way.
Well, it's not that... Not that kind of laugh.
Ho, 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 ho. You've been
that was-
naughty.
Does a 19 hit you, Eric?
Your present is cold.
No.
It has just a 1 on the top side.
Alright, he misses you. His axe clangs off your shield again.
We're gonna keep doing this.
Hana.
Are you fighting like men?
Manly men. Men in tights.
Blistering Flourish. 16 against reflex. I will use my heroic effort to make that a 20 against reflex.
Okay, that hits.
So he takes 9 damage, and I will use my flurry of blows to make it another 5 damage, so 14 damage.
Woohoo! Down he goes. Wa-da-da-da-da-da.
And now I'm going to move over here.
Zoom, zoom. Tribal Tracker 1 is irritated.
He's also slowed because he started in the zone.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Well, he'll put his bow away, walk up here, and start swing his axe at you.
Okay.
God damn it! Did it again. There are 2 of them. I forgot to edit both their macros.
That would be a hit, except that I'm going to parry it with my staff because I have Staff of Defense.
All right.
+2 to my defenses. Twang.
All right. He's done. Yorm.
Let's try this again.
Brash tag this time for real. There we go.
Yes.
With feeling.
He goes down. He's at 2 hit points.
Okay.
The staggering note nearly finished him off.
And I still have my movement action, so...
Yep.
4, 5. Why didn't I move?
Did you? I don't know.
Oh, because I'm using the measuring stick.
Ah, there we go.
That explains it.
Rar. Vindeus.
This guy basically has concealment, right?
Yes.
Ignore
The zone is heavily
because of
obscured
party
creatures other than you, so yeah, it's effectively full concealment.
Is your songbow thing, does that ignore concealment or cover? I forget.
It doesn't say
ignores
specifically.
concealment. It ignores concealment, but I have to have hit him before, which I have
And
not
he's
done.
also in cover. It's technically cover. Oh, he's got cover and concealment currently. Cover from the tree, concealment from the cloud effect.
Well, the cloud effect is more what I was concerned about.
Yes.
I'm still going to attempt to shoot him with magic weapon.
Well, you should do that. Yes, you should.
Nope.
Doesn't matter.
I am going to use Moment of Escape to move Yorm closer to the fight, so he gets slid 4 squares.
hello.
And that's my turn.
Ramia.
Alrighty. Just curiously, is the space I'm about to click, is that in the bush or out of it?
That one there's out of the bush.
Okay. Alright, and I've kind of used all of my cool tricks to give myself extra defenses, so I'm not going to risk getting hit by the axe. So I'll just strafe right here.
Okay. Does the cloud effect go away now, by the way?
I think it's into the end of my next turn,
Okay.
so you can effectively drop it now.
Well, you're the one who drew it, so there we go.
There we go. Controls even worked this time, yay!
Hooray!
And what do I want to do? Oh, I know what I want to do. I know exactly what I want to do. I'm going to use freezing burst, and I'm going to aim it actually a little bit behind him.
Okay.
And this will be against reflex.
So noted. That'll hit.
Yay! So he gets slid over here.
Hello.
Very nice. Roll damage.
And that's going to be d6 plus int. Yay. Alright, and I think that's all the tricky stuff, so I hit you G+.
Yep. You done?
I think I am.
All right. Cathra.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Is that guy in range? Yeah. Minor action curse. Since there's only one dude left. And Eyes of the Vestige versus Will. Nope. Done.
Right. Hana.
Frickin'. He's out of my range. Oh well. It's okay, I got your back.
It's a Congo line of pain.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right.
You're not going to get flanked, oh wait.
Travel Tracker is an unhappy camper. He will swing his axe at Bjorn. Actually, he's not marked yet.
No, he
Nope.
isn't.
He's gonna swing. He's gonna try to hit the squishy wizard. At least so, as such as he thinks. Little does he know that the wizard is slightly easier to hit for him. Very, very slightly. Not that it
Failure.
matters. He would have hit either of you.
I lightly tilt my head to the side.
Bjorn.
Tap him on the shoulder.
Huh?
Justice!
Yeah, that'll hit. That'll drop him.
that'll hit.
Blat. Technically, Catherine's patch boot goes off. Not that it matters.
He explodes into a cloud
Excuse
of
me,
hot
lad.
fireworks.
Crunk.
Well, you have defeated them.
Finally. That hurts.
Yes!
I'm going to push that arrow through. Ugh.
You,
It's a bit more invigorating than I expected.
so, well, what are you doing now?
Resting.
Well,
Ow.
yeah.
Yeah, take your short rest. That's fine.
Hooray!
There go 2 surges.
All
All from one crit. Fucker.
jammed Bjorn to get another resist formula.
So Gjorm spends a surge to recharge Skitch's power. So you have a bunch of dead Black Wolf tribe warriors here. Unless you want to take any of them alive. That was up to you guys. As always.
Arcana check, detecting magic.
I probably would have if any of my attacks had a threat of actually finishing any of them. But I was
none of them are particularly
frustrated
magical.
by the RNG.
Yep.
So
Okay. You're getting a little electrical.
Alright. So what are you guys doing at this point then?
well, after we rest up, main thing is we can.
Did we take any of these guys alive?
It's up to you. When you drop somebody, you have the option of alive or dead.
I mean, I would probably have preferred alive for these folks because they're not bandits.
Considering Hana's usual thing, she would have probably tried to not kill them.
Okay, that's
So most of the ones I finished off are probably alive, which means like this group and this guy
Basically, I killed one person.
and that guy
Just
and
because.
that guy.
Yeah,
Is your-
Tribal Warrior 5 is dead from, like, cold because Aramia doesn't care.
okay.
Mhm.
Well, you got a bunch of badly battered and unconscious Wolf Tribe members.
Well, the one that didn't get his face bashed in, the battle-tested warrior. I'm gonna slap a wick.
Whap, 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 whap.
All right.
'Cause he was one that was talking before the fight, wasn't he?
He was.
All right.
I'm also making sure I tie him up first.
All right.
I will actually assist with tying him up. You want me to roll thievery just to see how well the tie is done?
That would be...
If you want to, that's fine.
I'm gonna freeze
Oh,
his
look.
feet to the ground.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, tying him up is sufficient.
Oh, fine.
Oh.
I melt your ice.
You and I are going to have words later
Why later?
because we're busy right now.
But yeah, he basically groans. Oh,
Hey, lad. How's he doing?
Ugh.
I've been better.
Being
Shattered
roughed up
collarbone.
by
It's gonna take some time.
being roughed up by a few dwarves, it does that to a person.
I roughed him up. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm aware that I'm just making the comment for the sake of the joke. So you know, this is your fault, but that's beside the point.
It was fun and all and everything, but it doesn't really help with what they're trying to do. So why don't you tell us something about the bandits around here, huh?
Yes, the bandits. We are going to continue to pursue these folks. The sooner we can find them, capture them, and recover what they've stolen, the sooner we'll be gone. Anything you could do to aid us would be greatly appreciated, as it would possibly be aiding, I don't know, a traveler, a walker, among other things.
You are invaders and unwelcome guests on our land. Honor dictates that we act the way we did. And we have,
no one's saying anything about that.
I have nothing further to say to you.
So, what does your honor say about outsiders coming in who are also thieves?
Hey, I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling too well, so I'm gonna have to leave right now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Sorry.
feel better.
Feel better, Alice.
Bye.
Take it easy.
He sort of groans a bit more and just says, "As I said, I have nothing further to say to you."
All right, well, then you can enjoy healing yourself up and getting back well and in order, because we have nothing further to do to possibly help you get back on your feet after having to deal with you.
He grunts.
Here, lad, I want you to look me right in the eyes, all right? So I sort of hold his face so he's looking right at me. Now, I'm going to say this real simple. And I headbutt him.
He goes unconscious again.
For some reason, that doesn't work as well when I do that.
It's because you got them delicate features there. Too pretty for it to work.
Aramia takes out her spell book and scribbles a cliff note at the side. Investigate ugly as source of power.
Something you hadn't considered.
Well, she's pretty. Of course she hasn't. It's clearly not a power she has.
Niz will struggle a little bit and then glance over to Hana and say, "So, perhaps we need to see if we can find those tracks we were following earlier and see if we can continue to follow them." I mean, granted, the battle here certainly might have skewed any trails, but certainly there's got to be something we can pick up.
All right. I'm going to tie up and rouse the archer, the tracker.
The one that you punched or the one that I froze?
The one that, well, you killed him.
No, I didn't.
Oh, all right.
Gorm put that one down.
Yeah, it was a
You
tribal
probably
warrior.
did not survive catching a crag hammer in the jaw.
The one I punched then.
Okay.
Go to rouse him. Hello. Hello.
What do you want, outsider?
We don't want anything from you. We just want information. I just want to help to get rid of some people that you would like less than ourselves. There are people from outside your forest who were captured or robbed or something, we're not sure, and we followed them and we came across you. We don't want to take anything from your land. We just want to take back what didn't belong to you originally. And we can get a whole bunch of people who don't belong here to leave. Doesn't that sound nice? Our fighting was completely pointless, and I'm very sorry for what we had to do, but you did chew me a whole lot, and so that made me a bit angry.
He looks at you. If I could tell you, if honor dictated that I could not, I not talk to you about this, I would be willing to assist you further. But it's a matter of tribal honor. I cannot speak further.
What has honor to do with it? Did you make a promise to someone?
He just shrugs.
Insight. 18.
It's very clear that he's just he's completely unwilling to talk about it. It's clear that he's currently operating under orders and is unwilling to discuss it because it would be a breach of his personal honor.
All right.
And that he's not kidding when he says there's something that is involving the honor of the tribe.
All right.
That is something of a big deal for them.
What if there were something that we could offer your tribe in exchange for safe passage?
He shrugs. You'd have to bring it up with their leaders.
I assume that if I approached them, then they would shoot me too, so maybe that might not be a good idea anyway.
He shrugs again.
Oh well. I suppose if the opportunity presents itself, if the opportunity presents itself, perhaps we'll pursue it.
Mm-hmm. Innes is going to be trying to see if we can figure out what the tracks might have been leading up from here that we could try to follow.
Oh, give me a perception check then.
Yeah, not particularly strong on that. Rolls better this time than normal.
Well, there are definitely tracks that are heading off to sort of the northeast.
Do they look similar to the tracks that we saw on the way here?
Yep.
Okay.
Again.
Hey, quick question, lad. If we head off following these tracks, are we going deeper or further out of your lands?
Deeper.
Great. That's just fantastic.
Well, that's bad luck for you then. I start heading off.
Armin will walk by the other archer and just say, the less you interfere, the sooner we're out, and the less your so-called honor is tainted. Just leave us be.
Honor!
All right, well, you guys travel through the woods again for a while longer, and it's getting on towards evening when you come up sort of towards a clearing, which seems to be where you see what looks like a small, sort of like a small forest village, honestly.
Mm.
It's quiet. There aren't very many people around at the moment. The one thing you notice as you arrive sort of into the clearing and sort of you look in, if you all give me perception checks, I can tell you what you see. Even if you bomb this, you'll see some stuff, but I just need to know what I can tell you what.
Hey, I did actually fairly decent.
Wow, you all beat a 15, so that means that you all see basically the same stuff. There are a few guards wandering about, sort of wearing similar garb to the people you saw here. This is not a major village. It looks like it's
More of an outpost or a settlement.
Basically, yeah. The things you do notice, though, is that there is a sort of a hastily erected animal pen in which you see about 3 mules, and there are a pile of sort of pack saddles that are sort of piled up on the ground outside the pen.
Well,
you also see a couple of cages that are sort of been set up, made out of wood and such, in which you see about 3 people, which would seem to sort of coincide with the caravan tracks that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
2 humans, one of whom looks like a farmer, one looks sort of like a merchant,
Mm-hmm.
And a goblin who is currently arguing with who's currently arguing with somebody outside with one of the villagers or the
How's the goblin dressed?
As a matter of fact, that's a good question. He is currently wearing sort of tannin gray traveling robes, remarkably similar to the ones you saw Brother Alvis wearing.
I believe that might be Walker Gex there. It just sort of says that a mixture of surprise and sort of.
Well, let's go find out.
But yes, you basically hear him basically saying, "Look, this is all a horrible misunderstanding. If you just let me out and talk to your chief, I'll make it very clear. And I'm here to help, for crying out loud."
Yes, it seems
Shut up, sort stuff. You'll see
it
the
might
chief
seem
when
to
he,
interact
you'll
you
see the
in
chief when the chief
intervening
gets here,
with them.
not before.
Vindeus just sort of nods to Bjorn, like, yes, that seems to be the best course of action for now.
All right. I step out into the village. Oi, you Walker Gex there!
You just yell that out?
Yeah, as I'm walking in.
Of course you do.
Paying not any attention to the guards or anything.
Well, I'm not going to roll out a combat for the guards if you guys are being just sort of straightforward like this.
Yeah.
I could roll it out, but they're basically all minions.
Right.
I just
If they try and say, lads, where do you took care of your patrol out there? We don't need any trouble. We just came for our friends.
cue them dogpiling onto Bjorn, cue chilling cloud that freezes everyone except
not
Bjorn,
necessarily.
and we're done.
You guys subdue them fairly easily. We're not going to roll it out. Yeah, but when you shout, is that you? What did you said? What was it? How did you phrase that, Eric?
Is it you Walker Gex?
Or you Walker Gex.
The goblin looks at you with this complete look of incredulity and surprise. It's like, yes, who the? By the traveler's left eye, who on earth are you people? Thank you, but what?
Romeo approaches and throws his amulet to him.
Well. The other thing is, who has the amulet from Walker Alvis?
Um,
I guess I can hold it.
I was say I would be.
I think that I had it.
I think
Okay.
Hannah did. Yeah. So.
All right.
So. I'd mentioned.
He looks at the amulet and goes, "Well, it did catch someone's eye. I'm glad that actually worked. I'm surprised it worked, but I'm glad. I take it you guys let him out of the cage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. He's sort of brushing off his robe, his robes. All right. I need to find my robe and my hat.
Yes.
Pardons. I'm so sorry. Introductions. Terribly sorry. I am Gex the Munificent, humble devotee of the Traveler, at your service.
I'm going to repeat that in a disbelieving tone. Gax the Magnificent.
Munificent.
I thought you said magnificent. And then humble, and I was like, wait a minute, what?
Vindeus will respond with his own flourish introduction as per Vindeus's mannerisms, and not act like there was anything weird or confusing about the goblin's antics.
He grins toothily at you all. Well, I'm very glad that my leaving the amulet behind, tossing the amulet aside, actually worked. I really didn't think that was going to work. But I figured, the Traveler looks after his own. It might help.
Well, Alvis did mention that you were on your way to Ironheim, and
Oh, you know Elvis.
yes,
I just did some work for him.
Oh, wonderful.
that's how we knew that's how we suspected it might have been you.
That would explain things. There's my staff and my hat. Oh,
By the way, should we do something about the others that you were traveling with?
yeah. Oh, yes. That is Dominic and Edra. Dominic is the farmer. Edra is the merchant. I was traveling with them. I've offered to help out Greystone with a little bit of tricky problems they've been having with the black wolves. He picks up a large, wide brim hat that looks heavily abused and it looks like it's been worn for a long time. That it also has what was probably once a very jaunty feather stuck into the brim, but the feather has seen better days also. He sort of straightens the feather out a bit, shakes the hat back into shape, and plonks it on his head. The hat is probably about a size too big for him.
Right.
But it's sort of but it's very clear that it looks very weather beaten. It's clearly designed to be water repellent, though that probably has been wearing off at this point.
Right.
So I guess I should tell you why I'm in this area. So anyways, Greystone has been having some problems with the Black Wolves, as I said. Basically, the Grey Wolves have been, over the past month and a half or so, been raiding the farmlands and such, taking crops, abducting farm animals, so on and so forth, hitting caravans, which, from everything I know about them, seems entirely out of character. The people in Greystone were posting bounties for mercenaries to come out and deal with the Grey Wolves once and for all, and I offered to come out and see if I could find out what on earth is going on here and maybe find an amicable solution that would involve reducing any bloodshed.
While this explanation is going on, I'm gathering up the defeated guards and whatnot and throwing them in the pen.
So this might be something to do with the honor that they've been talking about lately.
Oh, they've been talking about honor. What exactly did the ones you've talked to say?
Nothing. They basically say that they cannot help us any further.
These are our lands. Get out. We're going to attack you now for no good reason. Guard. Blurg, blurg, blurg. Now I'm dead. That's what they say.
There's a rough summation of how that conversation went, yes.
They can be kind of obstinate, yes.
Okay, let's just to throw an arbitrary out there idea, perhaps there's something wrong with their leader that is causing some sort of top-down sort of management problem, to say the least. Is management really the right term to be using this? No, it's not. Anyway.
Possibly. But yeah, I came out here to meet with, to hopefully to talk to them. But I unfortunately got caught up in one of their raids on a caravan.
Right.
And, well, you know how it is.
Of course. I mean,
oh yeah.
Raiders on a caravan, it happens.
And while I might have been able to handle one or two of them, there were like 5 or 6, and I had 2 non-combatants to worry about, so I basically just urged us all to surrender peacefully, and they took us alive.
No. Yeah. Well, they did at least kill you, which is good. Here's an important question. Should we deal with the others here now, or should we try to pursue the chief and see if we can get to the bottom of this before returning people back to...
well, I'm planning on staying here because from what they were saying, the chief was making their way over here.
Then let's all
so they're on their way.
They said something about, taking me hostage and such, and I told them they were complete blithering idiots for taking a walker hostage. I mean, what kind of ransom? I don't carry enough money on me for it to be worthwhile, for be significantly worthwhile, and the order's not centralized enough to. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, who kidnaps a walker? I mean, really?
Seriously,
idiots, fools, and no, just those 2.
But yeah, so apparently the leader of this particular village went off to get their chief. And they should be back. I don't know when they'll be back, but hopefully I will have a fruitful conversation with their leader.
I would say that a fruitful conversation. That's what I would say. In any good negotiation, you need to make sure that you enter it with a clear sense that you are not going to let them ring you around. So what I propose we do is what Guillermo over there has been doing, and take the guards here, lock them up, demonstrate that we are not willing to be treated like prisoners.
Oh, absolutely. And there's nothing that makes negotiations with how should I say, hardliners easier than showing that you have a fist inside the velvet glove of the one talking.
Absolutely.
And that velvet's plated with steel.
That's what Mom always taught me when we came to negotiating. Well, at least with some people. Others, you just bribe or sweeten them up with some nice food or something. Always depends on who you're talking to.
Indeed. Well, yes, do lock them up. That would probably be the wisest. It means that they won't do something foolish and attack you all. Since given how quickly you managed to handle them. Yes. Hat, staff. There's my pack. He goes rummaging around in his pack. I didn't catch your names, by the way. As he's rummaging around, pulling things out of the back, going, "No, that's not it."
I'm Bjorn Blackhammer. This is Hannah something human sounding.
You can't even pronounce it right, but that's all right.
Yeah, that's not how you
This is
pronounce it.
Aramina, or something else human sounding, and that's Catherine.
Arami is just going to roll her eyes and sigh.
Yeah.
Pleasure. He looks back over his shoulders. A pleasure to meet all of you. No.
What was your business in Ironheim, out of curiosity?
Oh, I go there every at least once a year to meet up with some contacts there.
Ah, okay.
I assume that Alvis mentioned that I was traveling there.
Yes. And there's other issues that we'll need to talk to you about that might be somewhat important, but we could hold that until after negotiations.
Aha! There it is. Yes. He pulls out something and basically starts, he pulls out what looks like, a towel, basically, and starts, wiping his hands and rubbing his face, and it's very clear he's wiping off the sort of dust of travel and being carried through the woods and such, and making himself look more presentable. There we go. Well, all we have to do is wait for as he's saying that, you hear the sound of approaching, footsteps and such, of a large number of people.
Right.
And you see a fairly large, what looks like a large warband, effectively. You'd guess at something around the order of, say, 50, maybe 60, very heavily armed, 50 or 60 of the sort of warrior types that you've seen before. And a few other notables. Sort of an older man, sort of walking with a gnarled wooden staff. He's got some, face paint and such. And he's wearing less sort of hide armor and more sort of robes. He really has sort of the air of sort of shaman about him. And traveling with and leading the group, flanked on either side by two fairly impressively large warriors, both of whom who have large great swords slung over their backs that look like they are probably of dwarven make. You can tell by some of these sort of details on the handles. They look really, really well made. But flanking either side a tall and very imposing woman wearing sort of a metal breastplate over sort of other bits of hide armor, who has got a large axe covered in runes in one hand. Who's striding forward, and it's very clear everyone in the group is deferring to her. And walking out just outside her bodyguards is another sort of a very imposing looking man, probably about 6.5 feet tall, very broadly shouldered, who's got a pair of sort of heavy sort of one-handed swords, one on each hip, and a giant bow slung over his back. As they're approaching, Gex sort of leads over and says, the one with the two swords, that's the village leader. I believe the woman there is Chief Marta, the leader of the Black Wolves. Give me a moment. Greetings to all of you. And they stop, look at the situation. You hear grumbling and various snarls coming from the various warriors there. And
I wave and give him a broken smile.
The woman holds up. Basically, the guy with the sword starts advancing, like, reaching for swords. And the woman holds up her hand and says, "He's a walker. You will give him respect." And he sort of stops, looks at her and says, "He's one of the prisoners." And she stops, looks at her and says, "You took a walker prisoner. Are you insane?"
I think I understand why we haven't been able to reason with them now.
It is.
They have been nothing but helpful to our tribe for the past century. B, everyone knows harming a walker is at least 5 years bad luck.
That explains some of my troubles.
Ah! I'm so sorry, Walker. I take it you're here to discuss the situation with Greystone. And the tribe, the warriors all look sort of like completely shocked at the way she's speaking to him. They're like, wait, what? We were expecting a fight. What?
And I suspect Vindez and at least some of the others are probably standing around the walker, just sort of.
She sort of crosses her arms, looks down at Gex and says, well, as you've correctly guessed, I am Marta, Chief of the Black Wolves. Might I have your name? Gex nods and says, yes, I am Gex, humble devotee of the Traveler. These are my companions, who were most, fortuitously showed up to effecate my rescue from your ill-informed fellow tribesmen. And he gives all your names to her. She nods and says, "So you came to rescue the Traveler?"
Indeed.
That is the nature.
We came to rescue all of those who were captured.
Right.
Including not the Traveler, the Walker, including Walker Gex here. Well, in that case, I will overlook the transgression into our territories, and honestly, rescuing a walker is an honorable act. I have no quarrel with you then, unless of course you are working for the village of Greystone, the town of Greystone. Then we may have some words to discuss.
Well, given that we haven't talked to anyone in Greystone about this before we pursued in here, we are not working for them necessarily. However, what is the problem with Greystone?
She looks at you, thinks for a moment, and says, "Your words ring of truth. We will discuss." She proceeds to start to shout orders to her group, and they mostly sort of dissipate around the village. A fire is built, and sort of logs are pulled out for people to sit down on. She says, "Please, be seated." There are two chairs that are brought out. One is given to Gex, and the other is for her. And she lowers herself into a chair. She looks back at, she looks over at the tall guy with the two swords and sort of shakes her head. Says,
I chuckle at this.
Ironbow is loyal and a skilled warrior, but there are times his interpretations of my orders get ahead of him. Or elude him, I don't know. Very well.
Good help is always hard to find.
Oh, he is usually quite good. It is just that he's overly enthusiastic, I guess would be the charitable way to put it. So, Brother Gex, the nature of our quarrel with Greystone is fairly straightforward. Their farmers have been, over the past year or so, been encroaching into our territories. And when we sent a delegate to to Greystone to negotiate a settlement, or at very least to arrange a fair challenge for the lands in question, they threw stones at her, captured her, tarred, feathered her, and drove her back to drove her out of town. From that point forward, there was clearly not going to be any sort of diplomatic relations between us and between us and Greystone. So we decided to show them the folly of their decision.
It seems as though the greatest victims in your retaliation have been those who are not actually directly associated with Greystone, though.
We have not directly harmed any of the farmers. We have taken crops and a few of their animals, but nothing that would cripple their ability to provide food for them or for the town. Just enough to cause inconvenience to Greystone.
I I'll mention, well, such tactics certainly can irritate someone, but it doesn't necessarily drive anyone to settle or agree on anything.
Well, we weren't trying to drive them to a settlement at this point.
I mean, are you just trying to get them to leave as a whole town?
No, that'd be foolish. They're not going to leave.
So, what's the end goal?
The end goal is a straightforward, honorable conflict where we can resolve our differences in straightforward combat.
So you're basically trying to goad them into a fight, at which you will surely overpower them, given your forces.
That was our goal. Yes, I assume that they would eventually hire mercenaries to, give us something that we can properly fight. I mean, we can't get a proper, fair challenge against farmers and townsfolk. I mean, really. I mean, the City Watch are competent, but they're not. There aren't enough of them. We don't want to. We have no desire to destroy the town.
But such a tactic also implies possibly losing several of your own men for what seems to be a relatively inefficient way to resolve this problem.
Well, if we lost our men...
No, it makes sense. They actually limit it instead of outright warfare. You just have the designated combatants, anyone that gets lost on either side. Well, that's much better than just full outright war, isn't it? Yeah, it makes sense to me. Just as long as everyone abides by who wins.
Confining a resolution between two people is often a great means of bringing peace between two groups.
Right.
Many of the marriages that I have conducted have actually been between two individuals of warring tribes.
Don't get me started on arranged marriages.
Well, the dwarf and... sorry, I apologize. Bjorn, was it, correct?
Yeah, that's me.
And Hana.
Mm.
The two of you do have the thrust of it. Ideally, we would like to arrange an actual proper trial by combat, not an actual full-on sort of battle, but an honorable combat would limit the casualties to something reasonable, and if we lost, then very clearly the Greystone would have won the right to the land that they wanted. I see nothing wrong with that.
If Greystone feels as if they do not need to even go through with the conflict, then I see why they would.
Yes, it also seems like the people of Greystone, the only thing that seems to have been forming has been a sort of low simmer of resentment on both sides of the discussion, as opposed to actually fostering a resolution. I mean, if you talk to the people in Greystone currently, they're standoffish, they don't seem to trust any travelers much at all, and they are, to a certain degree, kind of paranoid about things. And if anything, that only hurts any potential resolving this outside of a conflict. And I'm fairly certain that that even for how the people are in that town, they don't carry the same sense of honor that you do, so they may not even be leaning towards the same outcome that you are.
That is entirely possible, although I'm staggered to know that I'd be staggered to know that their leaders would not be aware of our laws about tribal honor and such, given our on and off history with them over the decades. They should at least be aware of them, and the fact that they treated treated our negotiator the way they did clearly means that they didn't even try to talk to her. I mean,
did any of the leaders actually get a chance to talk to your negotiator?
It don't matter.
From what she said, one of the people in town who everyone seemed to be deferring to was the one who was leading the stone throwing brigade. So she shrugs.
Seems that.
As I said, when they act like that, sending people to try to further sort of officially declare anything seems fruitless, and I'm trying to goad them into a conflict to show them that the mistake they have made seem to have been the only way to truly get their attention.
Well, maybe there could be a third party that they'd be more compelled to listen to. Like, I don't know. And if it is, just sort of glances over to Walker Gex.
Gex is grinning ear to ear during all of this.
I mean, just because they made the foolish move to take a sign of diplomacy as a sign of insult or aggression doesn't mean that we should continue this on in that sort of manner. There can be ways out of this. Wouldn't you say? As he says to Gex directly.
Gexter says, well, it is very clear that your tribal honor has been impugned. There's no question in that in my eyes. However, I do think that you did act a bit hastily in not trying a second time, maybe sending a larger force that they couldn't quite so easily bully to demand restitution for the treatment of your diplomat, as it were. However, you do have to realize that, while you have had relationships with Greystone for quite some time, they've not always been peaceful. And they're townfolk. They don't have the same sort of outlook on combat as you folks do. And you notice that Marta sort of nods a little bit, and she says, well, that might be a fair point. And if you are willing to try to broker some sort of resolution to this without significant further bloodshed, then that would be acceptable. I will of course defer to Walker's choice in that suggestions in that sort of situation, as long as it seems reasonable that appropriate settlement can be reached.
I think that should be a fair enough approach. Especially because, well, we would be able to return with things that Greystone might consider some of their own property and people.
The people you can have. The property was taken in the course of the conflict. We cannot return that, not without it actually being a breach of honor. Perhaps after a negotiation is reached, and that becomes one of the terms of said negotiation, perhaps then.
White.
But the people, absolutely. We have. Well, he looks like he's a farmer. He could theoretically be of use, but he'd probably be. Honestly, he should be back on his farm with his family.
Indeed. Well, this is sort of things. Seems like we have a plan for at least for tomorrow, how we're going to be dealing with Greystone.
Very well.
Unless someone else has it.
At which point, you all can. But actually, everyone should give me an insight check at this point.
Ooh, Vindeus.
Where is that?
It's good for the guy who's been the point man in the negotiation to roll high in his insight, I guess.
Arami is just focusing on that axe with the runes.
Yeah, she actually, when I forgot to mention when she sat down, there was she basically funked it into the log that was next to her. It sort of basically went into it without without any actual real effort.
Right. Mm. Like, Arami is actually going to kind of approach it and observe it. Like, she's not going to make a grab for it, but she is just going to kind of look at it a lot.
Shiny.
What's the name of the village leader again?
The town?
The leader, the guy with the two swords.
That's Ironbow. That was what the inside check was about.
Okay.
Vindeus, it is very clear to you that he is on the verge of apoplexy.
What does that mean?
He's about to he's almost lost it completely at this point. He's tried to restrain his temper. He basically, at this point, he's like, Chief, you are entreating with these people as if they are honored members of our they cannot be trusted.
What choice do you have?
What, like, Vindeus will kind of back upon us, sort of reactions, sort of looks like, trust? Who are you to speak of trust in a time like this?
Calm down, lad. I hand him a drink.
He sort of looks at Gyorm. Magda,
think you were doing anything too bad. These guys are dicks to you, honestly. But have a drink. We can chat about it.
Marta, at this point, just bursts out laughing. I've always admired your people. Yes. By the way, Aramia, her bodyguards bristle a bit as you get closer to her, but since it's very clear you're taking no aggressive action and you're not like advancing on her axe any further, they aren't taking any action, but they are keeping an eye on you.
Right. Can I make an Arcana check from
Absolutely. Marta also, when you approach it, Marta sort of glanced at you, noticed what you were doing, and sort of smiled and chuckled a little bit. The axe is very clearly magical.
here? You don't say.
You'd have to inspect it very closely to determine exactly what sort of enchantments are on it, but, you know.
Dang.
You'd have to actually handle it.
Gonna have to get permission or take this entire tribe over.
But at a glance, it looks old. You're guessing it's probably sort of an ancestral weapon of some sort.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yes. Well,
She looks over at Ironbow. Ironbow, is this going to be a problem? She looks at it, and it's very clear the way she's phrasing it that there is something of a veiled threat behind the question.
slightly veiled, very slight.
Ironbow sort of, you can see basically the sort of like vein twitching, like throbbing on one of his temples, and like, you know, muscles sort of twitching in his arms and neck. They have attacked my village.
Your village attacked us first.
The only crime we committed was saying hello to a traveler.
She looks over and says, technically speaking, you did intrude upon his lands without permission, but you had no idea that would be... for crying out loud.
We had no idea, and we were seeking the aid of a walker.
I understand, but he...
We even made repeated requests to see a person of authority or to negotiate passage through, and we simply got responses of honor this, honor that, and
we intentionally made an
stubbornness.
effort to keep casualties as few as possible. My apologies for interrupting, Ramia.
I'm going to actually stand up in front of Ironbow, and I'm going to offer him a respectful bow, and I'm going to say, I am sorry that we have violated the sanctity of your land. I am sorry for the harm that we have done to your men. In our quest to assist the Walker and his fellow prisoners, we broke your laws unintentionally. Let us perform this task for you so that we may make up for it.
He turns, snaps his head and looks at you, glares. Give me a diplomacy check, Nick.
19.
Sighs. Your words are spoken fair and true. He uncrosses his arms and then turns to the chief and says, I apologize for my outburst. Turns to you all and bows to you all and says, I apologize for my anger, and that was undeserved. I spoke poorly.
You should take up Yorman's offer for a drink, though.
It's getting all warm and possibly drunk by me in a minute.
It's also really good.
Marta laughs again, and she says, I think that's a signal for drinks for all, I think. And Ironbow sort of shrugs and takes the proper drink, finally. And the various villagers seem confused. Her bodyguards relax, finally. I mean, they're still a little bit, you know, they're still bodyguards, so they don't fully relax. But they clearly are like their current reading on it is, okay, it doesn't look like things are going to break into a fight immediately. Good.
If there's going to be a fight, it'll be after drinks. It'll be more.
Well, that'll be a brawl. That's not a fight. That's a brawl. That's totally
something else entirely.
It's a different thing altogether.
That's some dual damage.
Very well. Then on the morrow we shall travel to to Greystone to negotiate with the town. I will come with you. I think that it is only proper that the leader of the tribe should be there. I think it will lend some more weight to our grievances.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I probably should have done in the first place, to be perfectly honest. Ironbow, basically, you hear Ironbow sort of like very clearly sort of choking on the drink at the moment because he was completely caught off guard by the comment.
Is there something wrong with it? Vidays will try to take a swig of it himself.
No, I just don't think I've ever heard Marta admit she's wrong.
Oh, okay.
She looks back and says, I have two! Alright, that argument we had when we were 12 doesn't count, Marta.
Romeo just keeps looking at the axe from another angle.
Marta sort of walks over to the axe, pulls it out of the log with seemingly zero effort.
Sword in the stone. Well, you get the idea.
In the log.
Well,
Except completely not.
it's actually more that the axe is quite sharp and she's quite strong.
Right.
She basically hands it to you, Ram, and says, "If you wish to investigate it fully, wizard, feel free."
My appreciation.
The shaman sort of shakes his head. And food is being cooked and booze is being passed around at this point.
Can I use that same Arcana check that I rolled before?
No, you have to roll a new one.
Okay.
You want me to help out with that, possibly?
Honestly, that's you don't really need to roll very high to actually get a better to actually identify much on this. I don't really have a specific. I don't remember the exact specific enchantment. I haven't bothered looking it up. I was not expecting you to fight her because that would be a bad idea. There's a possibility of a fight, but it would have been against some of her representatives, not her. It's pretty clear where this thing is a fairly potent magical axe. It's very old. The blade looks unnaturally sharp. There's something about it that just like, and you just get the impression that this thing has taken more than its share of heads over the years.
Of course. Does the enchantment seem aligned to any one of the five in particular?
No, not really. It basically, honestly, a large chunk of the a lot of weapon enchantments are more sort of tied into the history of the weapon itself, and so the way the weapon's name sort of evolves over time and the deeds it's performed.
Right. Basically, the weapon gains a sort of a formal name and title.
It's a level 5 axe.
Yeah, basically.
Right. It doesn't gain intelligence, but it becomes more distinct than others and gets a more significant name, which imparts significant features.
Right. Like, so all your magical items that have like special properties, they probably have a name that has history associated with that property.
Right. Like the amulet of health being like the big thing that dwarves carry around all the damn time.
Right, and so basically, actually, like the whole, I've been working on exactly how I wanted to handle enchant magic item type stuff.
Ooh,
that's more sort of along the lines of basically discovering the item's name and its actual history over time. Because
I see.
Because I just had the notion that every item potentially has a particular true name.
Exactly.
And those that are able to uncover components of its true name uncover more attributes of the item itself.
Exactly. And using a weapon over and over, you learn more about the weapon and such over time and such.
Like that.
So you're saying it's possible for us to like put other effects on our magic weapons,
or replace them or what have you, stuff like that, or
unlock your bond card, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Kinda, yeah.
You and your anime references that only you get and everyone else
Does this
except
mean I'm gonna have
me.
to go into an alternate dimension and talk to an old man in a stupid coat?
Well, bleach is like the it's actually really closely tied to this. Like you unlock different forms of your weapon by learning its name.
And it's and its personality and such. Yeah, it's actually. I hadn't thought of that, Nick, but you're actually correct.
God damn it! I'm going to fight the negative zone version of Bjorn, aren't I?
But all right, well that's cool because it actually lies in with how I thought about how artificing worked in general as a magic source too. So anyway,
so all right, well, with that, the food is eaten and drink is passed around. If there's anybody you want to talk to or ask things about, feel free. You guys have managed to avoid the trial by combat that I had possibly prepared. I figured that there are two ways it could go. One, that you actually managed to resolve this peacefully, and the other would that that you might have to do a sort of a trial by combat against some of her warriors.
Then Dave's will probably be spending most of the time talking to Walker Gex when he can.
Well, Gex is, as you probably guessed, is both very talkative and. You notice that whenever he introduces himself, he ends up using a different superlative after, basically, Gex the Munificent, Gex the whatever.
Right.
It's whatever just sort of appeals to him at the moment, as near as you can tell.
Right.
But he always follows up, by, humble servant of the traveler. As, as things sort of start quieting down, you guys are given a sort of an area of the village to camp out in.
Gex the title master.
And so things sort of quiet down, and Gex sort of gathers you all around and says, "Again, I want to thank you all for your assistance. The negotiations with Chief Marta went better than I expected. In no small part thanks to your help. And you're actually he looks at Gjorm and Hana, and especially your understanding of where she was coming from. The fact that outsiders seemed to get what she was talking about so quickly, I think, really did help a lot.
Well, you don't tar and feather someone to come and talk. It's just rude.
I agree. I'd be fascinated to find out exactly why they did that. I'm sort of confused. That doesn't really sound like the leaders of Greystone to me. I'm sort of perplexed by that.
Mm-hmm.
He has a look of actual concern. For the first time, he's not grinning. He sort of looks concerned.
It might
brows
be
furrow
that
a little bit.
You're thinking that the people
Oh,
of
wait, could it
Greystone...
have something to do with that thing, what came out of that statue we knocked down?
I doubt it, given how long this issue might have been happening.
Yeah,
but...
this has been going on for about a year.
Oh, all right. Probably had nothing to do with that.
You said something about a statue being knocked down. Oh, that's right. You said there was something that you wanted to talk to. Actually, was going to want to talk to me about specifically.
Yes, yes.
That reason Elvis mentioned you. Please, we've got time now. We might as well talk about it now.
Who wants to enlighten Walker Gex about this?
One of Lord Despair's minions fled this way after we destroyed a vessel belonging to it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Lord Despair's minions.
Yeah.
Yeah, we killed a whole bunch of dead things down underneath the quietest temple down the road.
What happened to the temple on top of it that was supposed to be sealing it?
Dead.
Oh, it got burned.
By whom?
Some bandits.
Possibly working underneath the necromancer.
Oh yeah, the necromancer. Well, that Cathra wanted to skull fuck.
Yes.
I don't seem to recall that detail.
No, but it sounds about right.
Well, she did express quite effluently about wanting the number of different ways she wanted to kill the guy.
But yes, there is a. Well, this is why we got the amulet from Walker Alvis, was helping out with that scenario.
Understandable. So, what sort of vessel was it, and do you have a description of what fled?
A black crown made of iron, and a shadow.
One of the unnamed, most likely. That is not good. Where was it fleeing to? Oh, don't tell me it was fleeing north towards Ironhame.
Your supposition is.
It was fleeing north, at least.
Well, it would make sense. There are several. Ironhame is a land of many secrets, and there are many areas of the mines below it that are sealed for good reasons.
Right.
Many of them tied back to the war against the Nameless and his unnamed followers. Their unnamed followers. And you said it was one of Despair's minions. That would
Correct.
That would track with going towards Ironham. By the Traveler's Beard, this is going to be a problem.
Yes, though we could probably address Greystone first, and then move on to Ironham to investigate.
It's en route, so we might as well.
Right.
Well, I understand why you broke the crown. It makes sense, and there's no way to know that there was one of the unnamed trapped within it, or sealed within it, or hiding with it. I don't know. This is unfortunate, and this is not good. Not good at all. Still, the fact that it was discovered and the Necromancer killed, and the dead followers of Lord Despair have been put down for good, are all good things.
Mm-hmm.
And will hopefully slow down whatever is in motion to some degree, at least. It is
Do you
sad
think
that
other quietest locations might be targeted?
Possibly, but I'm sure Alvis will be spreading the word about that right now. And it's not something we can do where we are right now. Alvis, which way was Alvis heading, did he say?
I remember offhand.
He mentioned he was heading off to one of the other quietest monasteries to deliver the remaining books.
Right.
Now, if he's doing that, then he's in a much better position to handle that part of the equation than we are.
Right.
Do what you can. That's my mantra. And do not worry about what you can't. Or worry as little as possible what you can't, I should say.
You have other pressing matters at the moment to deal
Indeed.
with, at least.
Indeed. All right. Well, if you are willing to travel with me to Ironham, I would greatly appreciate your assistance in this. All the assistance that I can get would be welcome. There's a shadow over Ironham, and it is a dark one. Well, hopefully we'll be able to resolve this situation between the Black Wolves and Greystone tomorrow, and that will go without any particular snags, and we'll be able to resolve this in amicable fashion, and the two peoples will be able to get along again in some way resembling non-aggression.
Yes.
We can only hope.
Honestly, I've never had any bad dealings with the Black Wolves before. They're fairly reasonable for the most part, as long as they're touchy and stubborn. But
No, I think that assessment is fair enough. But
I'm glad to. On the plus side, I'm glad to have actually finally met their chief. She's quite a woman. I'm impressed. More impressed than amazingly more impressed than I expected to be. Their previous chief, her father, was. She's easily living up to his. She's easily living up to his legacy, and at quite a young age. I'm impressed. I wasn't expecting that at her age. Anyways, again, thank you for your assistance. I'm not sure it would have gone nearly as well if you hadn't been here. As an aside, during the evening, the patrol you guys beat the crap out of, the survivors come trickling back into camp. They are shocked to see you guys being treated the way, basically you guys, the situation. But when things are explained to them, they sort of accept it.
What about Charlie? Drinks over to him.
Charlie was a jerk.
They start freaking about Charlie, who's just an ice cube.
Well, to be totally honest, the deaths in the battle, they actually don't seem to be fazed by that at all.
That happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, you guys seem to have a terrible affliction, and that's sobriety. Here.
So has Bjorn suddenly become a booze elemental?
I'm not working. It's a party. Everyone needs to be drunk at the end.
That. So then Bjorn and Yorami are not going to get along because she doesn't drink.
Oh, it's just unnatural.
Oh. Vindeus will partake in most of the shenanigans that Yorm gets into when it comes to drinking. Maybe not the fighting, or brawling, rather.
I'm just envisioning like Yorm eventually acquiring like an endless decanter, except instead of water, it's booze.
Yeah, that's a dwarven
Yeah, but it's
standard.
cheap booze. It's terrible. It's cursed.
Oh, jeez, it's vodka.
My God, it's filled with Pabst Blue Ribbon.
At any rate, that is basically where we're going to wrap things up this week.
Right.
A, because Nick has to go at 5, and B, because that's what I prepped. So in the next adventure, you guys will be setting out for Greystone, and hopefully that will be that will go well. I don't think we'll be meeting next week because it's the day before I leave for North Carolina, and I will be away the following week. So we'll be off for 2 weeks.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm working next Saturday anyway.
Well, there we go. So, thanks for watching. I hope everybody enjoyed, and we'll be back in, I guess, after the holidays.
Hooray!
Happy holidays,
Yay.
everybody, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.